Good morning. How are you? It is Wednesday, the 10th of September. Now we all know what tomorrow is, so we'll worry about that tomorrow. I just don't know what to do about that. Anyhow, Trump says he can do anything he wants with the military. Well, if he does that, the question is the military going to do everything he wants them to do? You have to understand the military has the rights, the ability to refuse what they consider to be unlawful or immoral orders. Okay? Now, usually commanders don't do that. It's usually down in the ranks that it's done, because a commander can say whatever he wants and troops can do whatever they want. But if the troops say don't want to do it, then you have a problem. All right, and the lower echelon officers and whatnot don't know. The officers that I met when I was in the National Guard, and I went down to and I was at Fort Dix, and I met all these young officers who were in the training facility, second lieutenants and whatnot. These idiots would, jump off of 200-foot walls if their captain told them to do it. The one captain I met down there that I got to know a little bit about and everything like that was a Vietnam vet and everything like that. And I looked at him and decided that, I'd follow him to hell. And I couldn't say that about every officer I met. I couldn't say that about most of the officers I met. But this guy was special. And I believe he wouldn't follow an immoral or illegal order. But that's, who knows what they'll do. Now we have NATO shooting down drones over Poland. Now my question with that is, were the drones on the way to the Ukraine, or were the drones attacking Poland? Either way, they shot them down for violations of airspace. And you can't talk to a drone. So that's but NATO did it, and we're getting closer to. I don't know whether NATO's actually going to enter the war against in the Ukraine war, or what's going to happen there. But it's going to it's going to be special, and I think we have to really consider that down the road. That's a possibility. Of them being able to do that. That's just. That's just not a good thing, because where the United States is concerned, you have a moron. Politically speaking, you have a moron running the country. He's mentally deficient in many ways, thinks he's God. That's the other thing. He's an atheist. He says. He's a Christian. He's not a Christian because he believes he's a God with godlike powers to do whatever he wants whenever he wants, and that just makes him an atheist in my book. There was a story that I haven't read yet about Trump's credibility challenged in Qatar, in Poland. Because the Israel struck at a town called, Doha, in Qatar, and attempted to, as they were negotiating a peace deal and they were about to announce something that Tuesday night, they went in and struck and killed a member of one of the negotiators, and that's just, You want a war, Israel? Somebody go nuke that fucking country or something. I don't know what you have to do to it. That's not the Jewish people I'm mad at, folks. I've got too many Jewish friends to be mad at the people. I'm just pissed off at the government that just doesn't understand anything at all, It just doesn't make any sense. And I think the people in Israel are starting to get upset. And I'm not sure that he can keep sending young men in the war. You know, it's like it's for them. The Gaza situation is like Korea was for us. You know, eventually we had to get the hell out of there because it just wasn't getting the support it needed. What else is going on? France's government collapsed. They elected a new prime minister. People don't know what's going to happen there. Harris says it was reckless to let Biden make the re-election decision on his own. And I'm sorry, Kamala, but you're one of those people that let it happen. You know, you're the one that went to talk to him and everything. That's stupid. He had to make the decision by himself. He's president of the United States. What are you going to do, impeach him so that he can't run? By the time you got done with that, the election would have been over anyhow. And nobody would have been running against Trump. What is wrong with you people? She wrote a book because she's broke. Got it, people? Because nobody's giving her any money anymore. Super PAC is pretty much done. What else is happening in the world? I don't know. Let me see. Can I take a look around? I'll take a look around, folks. Where should I go? Oh, okay, I'll go here. I don't know why I always end up going to MSNBC, except it's the easiest one for me to find. A judge blocked Trump's attempt to fire Lisa Cook from the Federal Reserve. It doesn't make any difference, you know. That's just... Trump didn't get the... Trump stopped Tom Hanks from getting an award from the West Point alumni. He was confronted by protesters. He dines out in D.C. He shouldn't be allowed out of the friggin' White House. Protesters should make it impossible for him to enter, or without 1,000 soldiers guarding him. Mike Johnson is somebody that has definitely got some serious head problems. I don't know what he thinks he's going to do, become the next president. Because it's possible that, from what I'm reading a lot, there's a lot of stuff about Vance that everybody's starting to dislike. Because he's arrogant. And he's going to do what he wants to do, and he's not going to follow any guidelines, and he's just a piece of shit. And and I keep saying this, how do you trust a man that a year and a half, 2 years ago was calling Trump Hitler, and now he's got his head so far up Trump's ass, he's starting to have trouble breathing? And they're going around blaming everything on everybody else. They can blame a lot on Biden, but, Biden inherited some problems that he didn't know what to do with. When he was running this time, he didn't have the, when he was president this time around, he didn't have the, what's it I'm trying to think of? The support that he needed. It just, it's just, I don't know. He wasn't a really effective leader at the time. I think he's a nice guy. I thought he had the right ideas, but he wasn't able to be an aggressive politician when we needed an aggressive politician to stop Trump's policies from going through. So Trump's proposing crazy things to the U.S. citizenship test. I have to check that out. It's quite possible that at some point in time my wife will lose her citizenship, but she's got dual citizenship, so they can kiss my ass. Because with Trump in power, I have no intentions of going back, because I'm too old to fight. You know, I do my fighting from sitting in my office chair in front of my computer here, and that's how I fight. You know, I give you information and tell you, you know, hey, listen, he's an asshole. What are you going to do about it? That's the thing. You know, they keep coming up with the Epstein thing. They keep bringing that back. That's Trump doing that. The rest of the country doesn't give a shit, I don't think. Because let's face it, if you elected a president that was caught on a live mic saying you can grab him by the pussy, and that he got out of that by saying it's locker room talk. What do you think's going to happen because he's hanging out with Epstein? You know, who cares? Because he cheated on his wives? Who cares? You know? If I was his wife, I would have been cheating on him. That fat, ugly dude. He doesn't have that much money. He doesn't know how to use it. You know, he thinks if he flashes a few hundreds around, people are going to jump up and kiss his ass. He flashed a few hundreds around in my neighborhood when I was growing up, and we'd mug you for whatever else you had in your pocket. Wow. Job growth is down 911,000 jobs. Well, that's probably because of the raids and everything's gone, you know? Now they say they're trying to deny Trump's signature on a lewd Epstein card. Who cares? Nobody's going to do anything about that. He's not going to get impeached. They're not going to go have riots in the streets saying he's a pedophile. Nobody gives a shit about him. And pedophilia is a bigger problem than most people think in the United States. So I don't think there's going to be too much of an upset about that either. I mean, you give me proof that he actually attempted to have sex with an underage child. When I say under the age of 10, and I'll personally go to America and try to beat the shit out of him. It's the only way you'll get me back. Trump's Department of War wants to bring back some of the worst aspects of American history. What is this? I'll have to read that later and come back to that, because that looks like it's very, very important, you know. And I don't know whether it is, but it looks that way. Could be an interesting article. Most of the stuff you see in here, especially on YouTube and what have you, you know, is very suspect as to its validity, and you have to go out and expats no more mail-in forms. I don't mail anything into them anyhow because I don't get anything from them. Social Security we're talking about. Nobody, they've never. I have to spend hours trying to get to talk to them, and that's what I'm going to do later today. I don't want to read that. That's Fox News. And that's the other thing. You have Fox News. Some people on Fox actually report the news. That's what makes it so difficult to watch. Because you don't know. You don't know if it's real or not, you know? Fish, oh wow. And they're going to ban dual citizenship. Wow. That was a month ago they charted that, and I'm just seeing the article now. This is like one of the ads that you have to, you see for an article on Facebook, on YouTube. Trump's ICE crackdown sparked shock move from South Korea. Wrong. As far as I know, they didn't do nothing except complain. This I want to see. So we'll put that over there. Does it bore you that I'm sitting here talking to myself? Well, I know too much of you don't really listen to me, so, I might as well talk to myself. It'd be interesting to see what Trump comes up with in the next couple of days, because he's got nothing he can do. He hasn't got a great deal of things he can still fuck up, but he's going to try, and that's going to be interesting to see which ones he actually tries to do, Anyhow, that's it for me today. Do me a favor, subscribe to the channel. Hit that subscribe button at the end of this video, and excuse me. And please subscribe. It's like I don't know what it is. It's an endorsement of me. I don't make any money out of this, and but the numbers you need to make money off of this are just not available to me. Okay, I can't spend the time or the money to promote myself that well to be able to make money off of this. But in the meantime, I like the prestige of having some people subscribe to me. I have 16 subscribers right now, and I started out this year at I think 2. So I've had a fairly successful year. I think that the funny thing is about it, I've got one where I've had over 162 views on this one video, and I don't know why. But anyhow, listen, y'all take care of yourself, and I'll see you in the morning.